Okay, welcome everybody. This is a weird thing that we're doing. I don't even know what you call it, but here it is. I want to rank the Mario RPGs. Grif here. Grif, do you know what RPG stands for?
It stands for Ready Player One, the book.
Back in the day when Mario RPG, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars came out, there's a lot of us young kids who had maybe kind of heard the term.
You have the same one on there twice. You have the same one on there like three
There were
times.
remakes. There were remakes.
You're gonna count remakes?
You know what? I typically don't, but we'll discuss that when we get into it. So, when Super Mario RPG first came out, there were a lot of people who didn't know what it was, and we had to learn through video game magazines. Oh, they mean like Final Fantasy. I got it, and Square Enix had even made, or SquareSoft at the time had even made it. So, since then, there's been this rich tradition of role-playing Mario games that are more about action-adventure than about, really deep, nerdy stat stuff that are just sort of a fun way for people to get into the genre with someone as friendly and familiar as Mario. And there's been a lot of games since then. I've been replaying a lot of them lately, and I just have some thoughts. And I guess, I don't know if maybe I'll try to go chronologically, but I'm just let's talk about that. Let's start with the very first Mario RPG that a lot of kids played, picked up, put down because they didn't understand. And an equal amount of kids played, picked up, and were like, oh my god, these characters have feelings.
This one and
there are
the
other
N64
wild new characters
one are the only two that I ever actually tried. But as soon as I realized what it was, I stopped playing.
Oh my god! So Mario RPG, it's going. So this is how I'm rating them: play frequently, as meaning like I'll play it once a year or every other year. Will play again, meaning I for sure I'm gonna play it. Might play again is like on the fence. Probably won't is And oh boy, this is a disaster. I don't know if anything will go quite an oh boy, but it's there. I will definitely play Mario RPG again. I think I do want to say I think it is a cursed game. I look at the art style and I really think that someone died while they made it, and their body got tossed into the vat where they make the microprocessors or something. If you look at the art style, it's cursed, and it's only further evidenced by games that the developers on this later went to work on, like the art team, and that's Moon and Chibi Robo and a bunch of other, and Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, just the creepiest possible games. So there's something whimsical but also incredibly dark, scary, weird.
It's got Donkey Kong in it, I know that.
It has a Mad Kong who looks like he's from the same species, but it is not DK.
Oh, it's not Donkey Kong?
It is not Donkey Kong. It just looks like him.
It
looks like him as a joke.
That I cared about.
Yeah, it is not true.
So that's going oh boy. Let's
Bowser isn't
into oh boy.
No. You could do your own, but you haven't played any of these.
Let's
Bowser
move
looks.
Into oh boy.
Bowser is incredible. I'm not moving it into oh boy. Oh boy. Bowser's incredible in this. I have his haiku memorized. I think about it all the time just because I relate to it heavily, like the moon over the day. My what does he say? I feel like he says my beauty and strength are lost on these fools, and I'm like, yeah, I feel the same, Bowser. Coming up next, I think the next RPG after that, it was even called Mario RPG 2.
No, it's called Paper Mario.
It was originally called Mario Story, but before that it was Mario RPG 2, and then they changed it to Paper Mario. I gotta say, I love you, Mario RPG. Boom, Paper Mario. And let me tell you why. So I forgot to mention Yoko Shimomura did the soundtrack for the first one too, but this game, everything is just so charming, but it goes up top because this got Luigi, this one don't. There were rumors that a character behind the building is Luigi and that he made a wish on Star Hill, whatever. This one has Luigi in it. You can read his diary. It's hilarious. There's great characterization. This is the first time that Bowser being in love with Princess Peach has ever been made canon in any way. It's really funny to read his diary too, and the story is just fun. It's got a Ninja Turtles cameo in it. I just love everything about Paper Mario.
All four of the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, they're called. It's they even have music that's kind of a riff on it when you fight these Koopas. They're called the Ninja Koopas.
Oh, okay. They're
really funny. Yeah, but it's a clear reference, and they even use the kind of surfing style music.
I thought you meant really literally like Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue style, like the Ninja Turtles show up and tell you not to do drugs.
So let's keep let's keep moving.
So the next one goes into Oh Boy.
Definitely not. I believe the next one is Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and I'm putting that in Will Play Again. I love it. It's an amazing game. It's got an even bigger scale than the first one. There's this fun like mystery train sequence. There's a tournament arc. This game's got it all. But for some reason, you know what it is? It's just Bowser's the main villain of Paper Mario, and he's got so much more to do there, and he's just wonderful, and I'm a fool for it. There's some really good stuff with Luigi and Thousand Year Door as well, with his sort of like separate adventure he has, which would make for its own game. It's so incredibly good. I might get confused chronologically on what goes next, but I feel like it's Superstar Saga, Mario and Luigi. Oh Boy. That goes into play frequently. This is amazing.
More of these belong in Oh Boy.
They definitely don't. Mario and Luigi is a game where all of their actions are tied to the A and B button. It's more of an adventure game than an RPG. It is so insanely good because the focus is all about action. The characterization of Mario and Luigi in this game and in the subsequent games in the series is what makes this stuff so good. Bowser's also incredible in it, but it's just the relationship between the two of them that is so funny and so charming, and this like not mirror, but like this next door kingdom to the Mushroom Kingdom, which is such a great idea, where instead of everything being mushroom, it's all beans, and it's just such a like, still a good idea, and it's so fun to play because it's constantly turning your sort of expectations on its head. You got Prince Peasley, you've got Queen Bean, where you fight her and she looks like a mad ape, and then you finally get the magic thing that turns her back to normal, and she still looks exactly the same. She's just not angry anymore.
Is she gassy?
It's wonderful. Yeah. Maybe. I feel like she looks pretty gassy, but
feels like an obvious joke. So anyway, the next one
beats.
goes into Oh Boy. They all go into Oh Boy.
It definitely does. I'm trying to think of what maybe came next, and it might be I don't know if it's Super Paper Mario or Partners in Time, but I'm gonna say Super Paper Mario. Oh man, it goes into the probably won't play again. I'm just being honest. Like I don't rank these by letters. This isn't scored. This is purely, am I gonna play it again? I probably won't play it again just because I'm not digging out my Wii or Wii U for this. It was pretty good.
Can you play it on the Wii U?
Sort of characterization. You can, because it's a Wii game. It lacked the characterization of the other games. The enemies just kind of fall flat. They got rid of the big explore the world kind of feel for more of a 2D platformer vibe. It ain't right. And they knew it wasn't right. And that's where it goes. That said, not bad. There's a lot to love in this, but it's just not what makes these so special. After that, I think is Partners in Time. I for sure am going to play this again, but right now it goes into... It goes like in the might play again. It just edges this out. And the only reason it goes here, because it's far more linear, it's hand-holdy, it's really, there's some bizarre choices to go from the first game to this one, but it goes here purely for one moment where Mario and Luigi go to this star door, and it's going to let all of them, including the babies, through. It's like I will judge your character and look deep into your soul, and based on that, that's the only way you're getting through to get your wish. It judges all of them, and he goes, Luigi, not so fast. And so everyone gets through, and he
definitely came out probably before the Wii.
No, the DS came out, but yeah, you're right. The DS came out before the Wii, but they were around the same time, so I don't know if it did. But that's less important than the content of this. So Luigi's not allowed to go through this door, and the star door is like, I'm sorry, dude. I looked in your soul, and it's just dark. He's like, I'm sorry. And Luigi's like, what are you talking about? He looks shocked, and he's like, do you really want me to say in front of everyone? And Luigi starts sweating. And he's like, and do you remember that other time with the pillow? It's like really specific. And Luigi's like, oh God, he looks so ashamed. Anyway, it all ends up being very sweet because he's not going to let Luigi through. And so Mario refuses to go through the door as well. And the star's like, what do you mean? And Mario, he's speaking in that like gibberish language they made up for them. And he's like, you won't go through the door if I don't let your brother in also? My God. You're a beautiful human being, Mario. All right, you can go through. And he kind of admits he made it all up. But I just love that. That's such a rare thing to see inside a game with these sort of Avatar-like characters, to see that they actually do have feelings for one another and that their brotherly bond goes above and beyond. That moment puts this game here. It's gonna stay there forever. Next up, so now we've got a clear roadmap from DS to 3DS.
Is Mario 64 on here? I'd like to talk about Mario 64.
We'll do that eventually. We're rating the RPGs.
Let's rate Mario 64. Mario 64 goes into play frequently, and the rest go into oh boy.
I've only got a few more minutes to do this. Bowser's Inside Story, it goes into the will play again category. The DS version. It almost goes into play frequently, but it's a little bit more of a time commitment than these two. I feel like they're pretty fast. It's almost here. It's almost there, but the reason it's great
there.
I'm gonna talk about remakes once we're done because they come last. But the reason it's great is because you play as Bowser in it, and that's all you need to know. Like, he is incredible. It's the funniest game you could possibly play, just because it tries to play out so much like an RPG, and Bowser just keeps refusing. They're like, come over here and do this quest, and then he'll just punch a guy in the face and say, no, give it to me or I break your home. And they'll just go, I'm so sorry, and hand him whatever he wants, and he goes, there we go. And it's wonderful to play as Bowser. I think he stops at one point because he's just like, I'm hungry, and he just eats whatever he wants. And all of his like special moves are based on like an army of minions that he sends out to like die for him. So it's just this wonderful change in perspective, and to see Bowser be the hero, man, it's so good. I think I could do without, like, you also have to like go back and forth between playing as him and then being inside his body of Mario and Luigi. Honestly, I could do without that segment and just have it be only the Bowser game, and I'd be happy, which is why it almost goes here, but goes there. Moving quickly. Next, Dream Team. Definitely in the might play again, because I've only played it once and I remember it being like kind of cruel. But you go inside Luigi's mindscape and there's some fun stuff, but it doesn't rise to the level of these. Then we're talking about Paper Jam. I probably won't play it again. They like cut all the characterization out, and it was kind of a straightforward action RPG game with not much else to it. Sorry. Sticker Star. Sorry. Beautiful music. I actually played it twice, which is why I probably won't play it again. But it's more like a Zelda puzzle game than it is an RPG. It's kind of bizarre, but great art style, great color. Bowser never talks, so it goes in the probably won't play again. Color Splash, great music. It's bordering on oh boy, just because it's like, here's all the lessons you should have learned from Sticker Star, and they didn't. So it's like, oh boy. But I don't think it belongs there. Really, I don't think anything really belongs in oh boy. It's like, all these have value. Color Splash has great music. It actually is genuinely fun, but it doesn't. It's missing what makes these so much more like magical. These remakes, they belong in might play again. But let me tell you why they don't rise to these. One, because they're not the original, but two, because they actually sanitized some of the NPCs and made them look like normal ones, like regular old Mario games. So there are all these interesting looking Mushroom and Koopa people, and they just made them default in the remake, and they kind of sanitized the music too. So the feeling is just not the same. And also Bowser's fights in this remake, he's 3D instead of 2D. He looks a lot better in that 2D. He just looks amazing. So that is my ranking. Nothing really went into oh boy because I don't know. Origami King's not here. That one is would also be in probably one.
You left one out?
It was not on here yet. Look, Origami King also goes in, probably won't play again. Sorry. Wonderful music, some really fun moments, but it just doesn't, like, when it comes to playing something again, I play it again because it's like, oh my god, I gotta get to this part, that part, this part, and that's what these games have that make them so special. Let me know your rankings below. Sound off. Let me know if I'm way off base. Let me know if I nailed it. Let Grif know if his ranking is accurate and everything belongs in oh boy, and only Mario 64 belongs in play frequently. And let us know if you want to force Grif to play a Mario RPG. Let us know.
Watch me skip a lot of text.
That would be okay with Mario and Luigi. It's largely an action game. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks you for joining us.
Bye everybody.